Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is qualifying ahead of the 2024 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan, then get yourself subscribed. Please do drop a like on the video as well, helps YouTube realise that I exist and this channel is trying to move forward. So yeah, please do help me out on those terms. But yeah, round 2 qualifying, Ollie Bearman in the Ferrari. Let's go, let's have a do. The third and final and biggest stream of the day as well. Yeah, I've basically been on air for like 6 hours in a row, if you count them all. No, about 4. But yeah, it has been an afternoon of streaming today. So we've done final practice, then we did the F2 sprint, which was good fun. Did enjoy doing that. The second half of that race was absolutely popping off. So first few laps was a bit like, not sure about this, single file. But yeah, F2 always entertaining. But now we're getting to the big time. Now we're getting to qualifying for the Grand Prix itself. I'll be live tomorrow for the race from 4:30 p.m. UK time. So join me for that. Lights out at 5 p.m. tomorrow. And now is the hour where we set the grid for who is going to be on pole position and so on down to P20 for the race tomorrow. So who've we got? Who's our money on? If Verstappen doesn't exist, who've we got our money on? Ollie Bearman for pole, I reckon. No, I think honestly, I think he'd just be trying to get into Q3. I think Ollie Bearman Q3 is what I'll be looking for. Really, if he doesn't get into Q3, bit of a disappointment. Any better than like 8th on the grid is a win. So we'll see how he does. Chucked in at the deep end is putting it lightly. But yes, Gav, welcome to the stream. Woke up just in time. Well, you woke up at 4:30 in the afternoon, 4:45 in the afternoon. What? You must have been on a mad one last night. You must have had a mad Thursday night, mate. That is a criminal sleeping habit. That is criminal. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Where is Sainz? So Sainz is out with appendicitis, so he's having an op. So whether he'll miss Australia or Japan, we don't know. Albon had this issue a couple of years ago, and I think he only missed one race, so Sainz could come back in Australia, but certainly for this race, he is out. So the young Brit, 18-year-old F2 star, Oliver Bearman, gets a massive chance for Scuderia Ferrari in Saudi Arabia. Talk about being plunged in at the deep end. It is sink or swim settings for Ollie Bearman, but big ups. I hope he does well. Fingers crossed for him today. Like I say, hopefully gets into the top 10 shootout, which is, with the Ferrari pace. He'd be hoping to get into Q3. If he doesn't, then he doesn't, and it is what it is. And, he's 18 and it's his first competitive session in F1. So it's a tall order and he didn't even get FP1, FP2. See, that's the thing. Sainz battled on and did FP1, FP2. So Bearman's rolling in with only the one practice session under his belt earlier on. I think he was P10. Yeah, it was, because it's still on the timing board. So that was the results from final practice a couple of hours ago. So yeah, it was Bearman was P10 in practice. But when everyone turns the wick up and gets on the fresh soft tyres, you never know, he could be punted down and knocked out in Q2, whatever. But if he's knocked out in Q3, that would be peak. That would be disappointing. Knocked out in Q2, you can live with it. All right, it's your first day as a Ferrari man, getting up to speed. But he'd be looking to get through to Q3, I think. Back end of Q3, P8, P9, P10 on the grid is where I'm expecting, really. But we'll see. Who knows? A lot of unknowns going into this session. Where are Alpine going to be? Sky looking at Alpine. They were on the back row and didn't make much progress from there in Bahrain, and more staff leaving on the back of that shambles. So Alpine in a mess. But I don't think they'll be on the back row here. If they're on the back row here as well, peak times for Alpine. I don't think it'd be quite that bad, surely one of them will get through to Q2 this weekend. As we see Logan Sargent in the Williams. We are about 10 minutes out from the start of qualifying. So big ups to everybody who's in. Please do drop me a like. I think Leclerc and Perez will fancy the chances. I do as well. I hope so. Yeah. The Red Bull hasn't looked that dominant in like qualifying trim. So, Leclerc had the chance to get pole last week. He'd be certainly looking to take that chance if he gets another shot at it this week. Surely Leclerc has to be up there in the fight for pole today. They're busy on Zhou Guan Yu's car. What are they saying about Zhou Guan Yu's car? Actually, that's a good point. I think they're gonna get this Sauber ready. I was saying they've no chance. Because if you don't know, if you weren't watching FP3 with me earlier on, Zhou Guan Yu had a big incident about 15 minutes to go in the session. Had a big crash, side impact, like new gearbox and all that. And I thought, 2 hours to quali, are they going to be able to rebuild that car in time? But it looks like they're certainly getting there with the Sauber. If they rebuild that and send that out when the green light comes on at the end of the pit lane to start qualifying, if they roll that Sauber out, massive props to the people that have rebuilt that car in 2 hours flat. What can I say? Big ups to them if they get that car out there. But yes, so Gav's in, Chris is in, Kim's in, Anto's in. Yes, Anto, well, how you doing, mate? Yeah, I'm doing good. I am good. Ready for the qualifying now. We've had all the build-up. We've had the final practice. We've had a bit of fun with the F2 race, but this is what it's all about. Set the grid for the race tomorrow. RB in a mess. Daniel and Sonoda, yeah, no. Not in a mess performance-wise. The car looks decent, but yeah, those two already going at it in round one, which turned out to be one of the biggest talking points of the weekend. The Sonoda and Ricciardo fallout. So yeah, it's not good that Sonoda. I do like that Sonoda's a bit off the cuff and he's a bit like he's a different animal when that visor goes down in Yuki Tsunoda. His team radios are absolute gold, but he does need to show a few signs of maturity now. Like, you can't just be on the team radio swearing and what is this guy doing? And you can't have that attitude and expect to get the Red Bull call up, expect to be in the big seat. So he's gonna have to rein it in a little bit. Already going head to head with Daniel Ricciardo, and on the cool down lap, that was unnecessary. On the cool down lap, almost crashing into him, and nah. So Yuki Tsunoda does need to rein it in a little bit. Ricciardo just called it immature, which I think he probably had a few other words to describe Tsunoda, but he held his tongue. So fair play to Ricciardo for not calling out Yuki Tsunoda big time at the end of that. But yeah, here we go for the intro then. Let's have a little listen. Get pumped. Let's go. Oh, who's up for it? A qualifying in Saudi Arabia. I hope someone can challenge Max. Leclerc was only 2/10 off in final practice. I think Leclerc's got a good shout. And also Perez, Perez won this race last year. He's got to be looking, if he's got any chance of a championship fight this season, he needs to come out of the block strong here. All right, he got dominated in Bahrain, but fight back, at least at the beginning of last season, they went to round 5 having won 2 each, Verstappen and Perez. So Perez, needs that strong start again and then needs to carry it on. But he can't be dominated here again. If he's dominated by 22 seconds here again, you might as well pack up, mate. So Checo's got to be in the fight today, and then we'll see what the Mercedes can do. We see what Russell can do. Hamilton's not really looked particularly on it yet in the practice sessions, but Russell's looking strong. So maybe Russell can challenge for it. And then the McLarens. And also worth mentioning that the Aston Martin in the hands of Fernando Alonso was fastest of anybody in practice 2 yesterday. So you never know. A cheeky Fernando Alonso pole, I would not mind that at all. To say the least. Yes, Fion. Welcome in. I have not seen your name on stream before, so big welcome to the channel. Please do drop a like and get involved, mate. I appreciate everybody that's new to the channel this season. Join along for the ride because it's going to be good, mate. P1 Madness. George might, yeah, if you set a lap, they're unreal. What, Mercedes? Tsunoda is a car crash. Tsunoda's attitude's a bit of a car crash. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be Yuki Tsunoda's teammate, put it that way. You get an absolute earful. But he is good, though. He is quick, though, Yuki Tsunoda. I feel like they're going to be really evenly matched this season, Tsunoda and Ricciardo. I feel like it's going to be... I feel like that is going to be feisty on more than one occasion between Tsunoda and Ricciardo. So I expect that to be a season-long fight at RB. Yeah, P1 Madness. I go Norris second, Charles pole. Oh, yeah. I'd like that as a front row. I'd love that as a front row. Norris P2. Where are you going? Where's Max then? P3. Is that what you're saying? Right, we're about to get underway for Q1. If you are new to Formula 1 qualifying, I appreciate a lot of you won't be, but if you are new to F1, how qualifying works is it's 3 sessions, an 18-minute session, 15-minute session, and a 12-minute session. In the first session of 18 minutes, known as Q1, at the end of the 18 minutes, the bottom 5 or slowest 5 drivers are knocked out and their grid position is set. Then the top 15 go through to Q2. The times are reset, start from 0. Top 15 go through, and at the end of that 15-minute session, we then get a top 10. Those 5 are then knocked out, 11th through to 15th. Their grid position set. Then we get Q3, the pole position shootout between the top 10 drivers. That'll be a 12-minute session, and at the end of which we'll have our pole position man for the Grand Prix tomorrow. So that is how it works. So we're about to get underway with Q1 with all 20 cars out on track, and it's just all about not being in that bottom 5. So you don't have to, if you're in a Red Bull or a Ferrari or Mercedes, or, you know, a car fighting at the front, you've got to get a good enough lap in so you're not under threat. But if you're Max Verstappen, you don't need to have everything on maximum settings. As long as you get through, even if you get through in P14, it's a little bit hairy scary, but even if you get through in P12, 13, 14, you're safe, and then the lap times get reset. So it's just about not being eliminated. And then in Q3, engines to the max. No pun intended. Soft tyres and... yeah, but for the guys in the midfield and at the back, Q1 is the most important session of the whole weekend. They have to go absolutely balls to the wall to try and not get eliminated out of the blocks. So, yeah, if you're in a Haas, a Williams, Sauber, down the bottom end, then this is make or break in Q1. Norris third. Oh, you're going Norris... Oh, Norris third. Oh, right. You're going Norris third, Charles second, and pole for Max. All right, that seems more sensible. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about the Norris third, though. I don't know. It'd be good to see that, but I don't know how strong the McLaren is looking. Really, is it top 3, top 4 potential? I don't know. Is Aston quicker than... We're going to find out, aren't we? We're going to find out, but I think I'd be surprised, pleasantly surprised if Norris was top 3 on the grid. Yeah, that's my predictions for the race tomorrow. So I've gone the Red Bull 1-2, Ferrari just behind that. But I've gone Behrman to get a couple of points tomorrow. We'll see. I feel like any lower than that's a disappointment. If he's outside the points, bit of a disappointment. Any higher than top 8, and I think he's done a mega job. So I've put him P9, couple of points. It's his first weekend, it's his first proper race. So difficult to place Behrman in the predictions, but I've got him picking up a couple of points. We will see. But yeah, I've gone Red Bull 1-2, as is the norm. I hope it's not. You know what I mean? More excitement, more drama, the better. But when you're doing predictions, you got to behave yourself a little bit, unless you want to go rogue with it. But yeah, I've got Leclerc on the podium, Russell, Alonso, Hamilton, Norris, Piastri, Behrman, and Stroll for top 10, just because Aston Martin are looking pretty quick this weekend. So even Lance Stroll might be able to pick up a point, pick up a penguin. But yeah, for qualifying, you reckon Behrman out-qualifies Perez? That's a massive shout. That is an absolute massive shout. Oh, they're trying to get this Sauber ready as Zhou Guan Yu. They're panicking. They're on full panic stations there at Sauber trying to get that car ready. But I think my qualifying prediction would probably be the obvious on pole position. I hope not, just for the sake of competition. But probably the inevitable will happen. And then maybe, Leclerc, Russell, 2-3, I'd say. Yeah, something like that. For a top 3. Maybe Alonso can crack into the top 3, though, in quali, looking quick last night. So Norris has got this fancy camera on the car that tilts with the camber of the circuit. It's a bit odd, but yeah, Lando Norris rolling with some sort of gyro camera on the car. Fair play. But yeah, Behrman to out-qualify Perez would be massive. Well, it depends, because Perez could have an absolute shocker and qualify P12, and then, well, yeah. But, I mean, realistically, Perez should be top 3 on the grid, so if Behrman beats that, he's looking at a front row. But we'll see. You can hear the McLaren of Lando Norris bottoming. The ride height is extremely low on that McLaren, and was last week in Bahrain. But if it's quicker, if you're quicker scraping the bottom of the car down the straights, it doesn't sound quicker, does it? But generally, the lower you can run the car, the better. And McLaren are taking that to the extreme, scraping down the main straights as the downforce kicks in. But it's Hulkenberg quickest at the moment. Then early doors in Q1 with a 1:29.1, and Alonso beats that. Then a 1:28.8 goes to the top with a purple middle sector. So that's pushed Hulkenberg down to 3rd. It's then Piastri, Norris, Magnussen, Albon. As Stroll goes P2 then, an early Aston Martin 1-2. Yes, sir, football. Welcome to the stream, bro. You are big on Leclerc, are you? Leclerc fan in the building. I think he's got a good chance of pole position, mate. I think he could be in for a good day. As Behrman goes P10 then. Everyone so far is on the soft tyre. No one risking a medium. As I say that, here comes Lewis Hamilton then on the medium and goes P6. So it's Alonso, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Piastri, Norris, Hamilton, and Russell slots into P7 on the medium tyre as well. And then it's Magnussen, Albon, Sargent, top 10 at the moment. So it's early doors, and we haven't seen the Red Bull, the RBs, or indeed Zhou Guan Yu, who may or may not make it out of the garage with his car being rebuilt after that massive incident at the end of FP3 a couple of hours ago. What do we think about Max being linked to Mercedes? I love it. I want it. I'm here for it. It won't happen, but if it does, bring on 2025. I mean, it's already bring on 2025 with the Hamilton-Ferrari deal, but Verstappen to Mercedes would be incredible. But it won't happen, so I can't get too excited. But yeah, if it did, it's what dreams are made of, mate. Verstappen moving teams is the light at the end of the tunnel this sport needs. But no, it won't happen. I mean, you know, saner heads will prevail, and that won't happen. But it is nice as a little rumour. It's nice to have a bit of a chat whilst all this Christian Horner drama unfolds. But I think in the end it'll settle down, and Red Bull will try and brush it all under the carpet, all this drama, and it'll probably be old news. It'll be forgotten about in a couple of weeks, I imagine. But if it's not, if I said this, if that Red Bull Christian Horner drama rolls on into Australia and other things start to unfold. Oh, there's more text messages come about. There's more there, and it rolls on. Ooh, then I think you have to start looking at the possibility of Jos Verstappen putting the hammer down and going, me and Max are off, mate. If the drama rolls on, if this is the last we hear of it, then we can forget about Max and Mercedes. Oh, Piastri's hit the wall there. Piastri's hit the wall there on the exit of the final corner. I don't think he's damaged the car, but what the hell? We saw Verstappen fully write his car off there in qualifying in, was it 21? It was that major championship. So I think he's broken. I think Piastri's broken the rear of his car, you know. I saw that rear wing wobbling, Karen Chandok, mate. I saw that rear wing on a wobble, mate. I think Piastri might have damaged something there. But he's gone across the line quickest after slapping the wall on the exit of the final corner. Wow. Verstappen to Williams, I'll back that even more. That really would mix things up. Yeah, Gasly and Ocon in the tractors. Lucky there. Well, is it lucky? I don't know, mate. I saw that rear wing. Oh, I'll tell you what, Ollie Behrman as well, brushing up against that barrier on the exit of the final corner. Goes P4, so it's Piastri, Norris, Alonso. Wait a minute. Look at David Behrman, the father, in the garage just pacing round like... Behrman's gone quicker than Leclerc off the bat in Q1. No, I did not have that on my bingo card. I did not have that. I mean, yeah, it's early days. It's not fully representative, but he's on it, mate. Ollie Behrman on the pace, straight out the traps. Really? Did he just set fastest third sector? You tell me. Perez goes P2. Verstappen's, of course, purple sector 1, purple sector 2, and he's round the final corner now. Oh, they go so close, mate. They go so close, that wall on the outside. It's hard to watch. As Verstappen crosses the line, then 2.5 tenths quicker, and a 28.491 is the new benchmark as Leclerc goes P2 with 2 tenths off. And Alonso goes P3 then in the Aston Martin. It looks pretty quick. Only 2 tenths, so it's really competitive at the front. 8 minutes to go in Q1. Zhou Guanyu's not been out yet. They'll be frantic in that Sauber garage trying to get that car ready. But it is Verstappen from Leclerc, Alonso P3, then Piastri, Norris, as we see a replay of Oscar Piastri then into the final corner, hits the apex nicely. Oh, he slams that wall. I think he did touch the wall, says Crofty. He smashed it, mate. Clipped. Piastri's calling it a clip. I'm calling it a thump, mate. Oh, he's got away with it. I think he has got away with it. But oh, that is mighty close. That Behrman's gone extremely close to the wall. Piastri's clouted it and got away with it. Oh. Yeah, this is it, Gav. If the cards start to fall. If Ford walk away from the 2026 deal, the deck starts to collapse then. And then at that point, have they got to think, if we don't get rid of Horner, we're going to lose major sponsors, we're going to lose major personnel, maybe maybe Adrian Newey decides enough's enough. You know what I mean? The dominoes start to fall. So they've got to be careful. They've got to be careful that it doesn't unravel any further. Because if this drama continues and Ford start piping up saying, we're backing down, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? They might keep Horner at what cost? You know what I mean? They might be able to keep Horner at what cost? And as soon as that cost starts outweighing the benefit of keeping Christian Horner, it's good night Vienna. Well, we'll see. I do have a feeling that it'll just get forgotten about, unfortunately, and it'll just get brushed under the carpet. And in another fortnight, another month, it'll be, do you remember that bit of a drama at the start of the season? I just think they'll try and move on now. And it is what it is. Anyway, back to quali. 5.5 minutes to go in Q1. And it is a Russell across the line now to go P4. Decent lap. Everyone on the soft tyres, including the Mercedes now. So it is with 5.5 minutes to go. Verstappen from Leclerc, Alonso, Russell, Piastri, Perez, Norris, Behrman, Hamilton and Magnussen as Zhou Guanyu sits in the car with 5 minutes to go. Are they going to get this ready? Yeah, they've got 3 minutes including the outlap. Oh, I don't know. The brakes aren't even on. The cake tin's not even on the car on the front. I don't know. I don't. It's touch and go in it. It's touch and go at Sauber. Oh, the green screen's messing up a bit. Sorry, it's a bit of a mad one. I'll have to mess with the settings for the race tomorrow, but yeah, green screen's on a bit of a flickering one, but it's not the end of the world. Is Zhou going to make it? Is the big question. Yeah, the fastest final sector. Haas doing okay again, yeah. P10 at the moment for Kevin Magnussen. P13 for Hülkenberg. And Hülkenberg just about to start a new flying lap with 4 minutes to go. But yeah, like I said before, you know, Haas going into Bahrain, we're just written off by all the pundits, all the analysts, all the pundits, and me, going, nah, Haas, slowest. Well, I have to hold my hands up. I was wrong. It was Alpine. It was Alpine that come out of the block slowest. And meanwhile, Hülkenberg was top 10 on the grid in Bahrain. Didn't go well because he had a little bit of contact in turn 1 in the race, so it didn't pan out as he was hoping. He didn't get any points out of it. But, you know, Magnussen was just outside the points, I think, in P12 in Bahrain. So, yeah, Haas, decent midfield runner. Who had that? Nobody. But Leclerc goes quickest in on a 28.3. Okay. With 3 minutes to go, it's Leclerc who tops the timing sheets. But it is now about Nico Hülkenberg cross the line, P10. Will he be safe with that? We don't know. He might get one more shot at it. Bottas crosses the line, P14. And we start to look at the bottom 5 now with 2.5 minutes to go. It is Yuki Tsunoda. As they take the graphic off the screen on perfect timing. It's Tsunoda, Gasly, Sargent, Ocon and Zhou, who's not got out of the garage yet, and I don't think he will at this point. He's got about, 30 seconds to get out of the garage, or else it's game over for the Chinese driver for today anyway. He'll still take part in the race, but it'd be like a pit lane start, I think. But yeah, Zhou, they've got about, well, now is the cut-off point. I don't think Zhou's going to get out there. With 2 minutes to go, he's got to do an outlap before the clock runs out. So it's looking peak. I think. Oh, he's going out. Oh my God, it's going to be. It's going to be absolutely on the edge. Oh my God, he's got to do a flying lap. He's got to be straight on it. This has got to be the quickest out lap ever for Zhou Guan Yu. He's got a minute. The lap time at full speed's a minute and a half. Zhou's got a minute and 40. Oh, it's on an absolute knife edge whether Zhou Guan Yu's going to get a lap in. Oh my God, he's going to have to be storming round on the outlap. Sod the tyres, mate. We've got to... He's got a race. He has got a race to the finish line. Yes, Gav, appreciate you, bro. Ayo Komatsu making his statements. Yeah. But yeah, cheers, Gav. Yeah, please do drop a like, guys, and subscribe to this channel if you are new. Really appreciate anybody new to the channel. And also the OGs that come back every week. Big ups. Oh, look at that from... the RB, Daniel Ricciardo, bouncing over the curbs there. Put in the middle of the car on the highest part of the curb there. You're asking for trouble. Oh, look how close to get on the exit of final corner. Can't get over that. But Verstappen's gone quickest then. And it is Ricciardo up to P11. Might struggle from there. That'll be touch and go for Ricciardo as Tsunoda goes P9. I think he'd be all right. I think P9 for Tsunoda is safe. Oh, look at Lance Stroll's purple middle sector. Go on. So, could Stroll go quickest here? Oh, P2. Oh, the Aston Martin is rapid. If Stroll's 79 thousandths off fastest, we have got a session on here. Aston, Lance Stroll, from nowhere goes P2. And yeah, it's not for the grid, but it's a good sign. But yeah, that is the elimination zone now with... a few people to cross the line is Bottas, Ocon, Gasly, Sargent, and Zhou didn't cross the line in time. I don't think Zhou got a lap in. Oh, savage. He must have just missed it. Oh, no. Zhou didn't make it and he's out. Savage. So both Saubers out, both Alpines out, and the Williams of Logan Sargent. So... just to confirm it then, knocked out in Q1, Valtteri Bottas P16, Esteban Ocon P17, Pierre Gasly P18, Logan Sargent P19, and Zhou Guan Yu P20. It'll be a pit lane start because he didn't even set a lap time, unfortunately. By a whisker. Stroll WTF. Exactly, Ishan, mate. Exactly. If Stroll can slap a P2 79 thousandths slower than Verstappen, it's game on, isn't it? It's game on. Alpine are gone. Yeah, Zhou's out. Both Hass's through. Yeah, both Hass's through again for the second week in a row. So it is Bottas, Ocon, Gasly, Sargent, and Zhou who have been knocked out in Q1. A very interesting Q1. Ollie Behrman, nice and safe. Nice and safe in P9. Getting the job done. Getting the job done so far, so good for Ollie Behrman. But that Stroll lap is thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. Big time. Big time. Where has he pulled that from? And I tell you what, this FP2 pace that we saw yesterday from the Aston Martin is looking legit. It's looking legit because if Stroll can do that, you bet your bottom dollar Fernando Alonso can do that and even more. So this is on. The Aston Martin pole position is on, isn't it? Well, I tell you what, they've got half a chance. They've got half a chance with that. You know, yeah, it's the end of Q1. It doesn't matter the time to reset, yada, yada, yada. But they're in the mix. Aston, make no mistake about it. Aston are in the mix. Hey, we were saying SHT. You say, oh, long, tough season to be a Alonso fan. I was like, yeah, hey, could be looking a little bit better. Could be looking a bit stronger than first thought. Well, I've not heard it, Carl. If they have, I didn't know about it. SHT will know, but not that I've heard of. People will be bringing upgrades in around when you get back to Europe. A lot of upgrades come in. Maybe Miami, maybe before that, or Imola. But I've not heard of Aston bringing any upgrades here. Maybe it just suits the car more than Bahrain did. But yeah, anything can happen in this sport, guys. Just keep telling yourself that. Anything can happen. I mean, of course, we all know what will happen. But until it does happen, anything can happen. Hey, do you know what? That's a good way of putting it, isn't it? We all know what will happen, but until it does happen, anything can happen. That should be the slogan this season. For the entire sport as a whole. James Vowles on mute. They've gone for an interview with James Vowles and he's on mute. There he is. But yeah, it's weird seeing Hamilton being given the slower car by Mercedes. Well, I mean, the idea, Gav, is that they're both absolutely identical in every single way. And that is what I believe, whether that's naive of me. But that is how it's supposed to be. Unless there are exceptions to that. Say you're in a last-minute rush to design and build a front wing, let's say, and it's in a massive rush and the race is upon you and you only manage to make one front wing, then you give it to the number one driver, and then so the cars will be slightly different because one driver's got the brand new front wing that they haven't managed to make two of yet. But so there is exceptions, but 99% of the time, I believe, and it is the rules, these cars are identical between one teammate to the other teammate. So the car might suit one driver's driving style more than the other, but in essence, bar the setup changes might be slightly different, but in essence, the car's exactly the same. So you can only look at Lewis and think, what's going on? What's going on with Lewis? Because he's not quite matching George at the moment. So we'll see. It was only Q1, but yeah, in Bahrain, he couldn't match George. And then in the practice sessions, it's always George now ahead of Lewis. I mean, yeah, it's early on in the season, but when you see the practice sessions and stuff, and it is tending to be the trend now that it is Russell quicker than Hamilton in every session. So you have to start looking at Lewis a little bit and going, ooh, are you falling off slightly? I don't know. Or is Russell stepping up? Russell's got to step out of the shadow of Lewis Hamilton this season as well. So he's stepping up. Russell improving maybe. Right, we're about to get Q2 underway. Q2 is underway then. And the cars are going to head back out onto the track, the top 15. So Bottas, Ocon, Gasly, Sargent out. Their grid positions are locked in. And the top 15 then will go to a 15-minute session now to all scramble to get in the top 10 pole position shootout at the end of this 15 minutes. One of your favourites next time, Australia. Yeah, join me live, I dare you. Join me live for the Australian Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. I dare you, anybody watching this now, especially if you're in Europe, because that is major middle of the night settings. 4 a.m. race start. I dare you, Gav. Do it, Gav. Because if you don't, you know what I mean? If you're up at 4 a.m. with me doing Australia, keep me company, mate. Please keep me company, because I'll be sat here talking to myself. Or unless someone's still on a Saturday night piss up from the night before and still going at 4 a.m. You know, Denver's not on dry Feb anymore. He might be still on it from the Saturday night and he might join me. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, it's going to be a lonely stream. But anyway, we've got Saudi Arabia before that. We'll talk about next week, and we're about to get Q2 underway. Dare accepted. Right, we'll do it, Gav. Me and you. And anybody else is welcome. But you've got to set your alarm clocks at a ridiculous time. I'll still be here. I'll still be here somehow. Even though after that race I'll have a 10-hour shift and it's going to be the longest day in the world. I'll be here for Australia and Japan and China and all the rest of them as well. Someone gone off? Has someone gone off there? From that helicopter shot, I'm sure there was someone that was... Yeah, Hulkenberg stopped. I spotted it. Yeah, what's happened to Hulkenberg? Has he kept going? Yeah, we need the driver tracker. What's the driver tracker saying? Is Hulkenberg out? No yellow flags because he's way off the track. I think Hulkenberg might be out here. Right, hang on. What's the driver tracker saying? Yeah, Hulkenberg stopped on track. Team radio. Lost power. Something's wrong. Oh, Nico Hulkenberg. He's out, mate. Hulkenberg's out, mate. After Australia. Straight after the race. Yeah. After the race, mate. So, Australia, watch along, get dressed to work, mate. With one eye open like that. Anyway, Hulkenberg stopped. It's GG's, mate. Nah, he's out. Well, what? So they're doing yellow flag situations. So nobody can go purple sector. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. The session's been red flagged for, yeah, he lost power, yeah. So Hulkenberg out of qualifying. Let's have a listen to what happens to the car. Okay. This is down to turn 1. He's flat out with the slipstream as well. That's fine. Puts on the brakes for turn 1. And... yeah, it sounded flat there under braking. Under braking for turn 1, it wasn't quite right. And then it just like, oh, and then it's game over out of turn 3. Heading to turn 4, he's just stuttering along. Nah, it's done. Nah, that car's done. I don't know. It's hard to say what's wrong. Yeah, Hulkenberg with the issue. Stops out on track, and we have got a red flag. So the... time is paused at 10 minutes 58 seconds, as you can see in the corner of the stream. We've paused at 10:58. They'll get that car out of the way, and then we should get back up and running because he didn't hit anything, so there's no debris or anything like that. So as soon as they get Hulkenberg out of the way, they should get this session and get the 11 minutes of Q2 resumed pretty quickly. Yeah, bad luck for Hulkenberg again. After... Bahrain looking so good, and after turn 1 looking so bad. So yeah, Hulkenberg with the bad luck again. Well, I mean, you could say that about his entire career. Zlatan Ibrahimovic in the Ferrari garage. Who had that on the bingo card? Zlatan Ibrahimovic in the Ferrari garage. I did not see that one coming, I'll be honest with you. That is a random one, I must admit. But he's there. Oh, he's there, all right. That's the thing, isn't it, right? When you're a big celebrity like that, yeah, you're not just in the crowd, you're not just in the grandstand, you're in the fucking first class ticket in the garage itself. Like, if you fancy going to an F1 race, you get absolutely $1 million money can't buy it tickets stood in the garage itself. Obviously. You know, they're never on row Z, are they? They're just like, I'm a fan. In with the fans. Man, you just get hounded, wouldn't they, by everybody else. It's every single time Hulk had bad luck. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not just Bahrain, is it? It's been going on for... It's been going on for 14 years. So Hulkenberg made his debut in 2010. Then, am I right in saying he missed 2011 and then came back in 2012 and then missed, then had, 12 through to like 2019, then missed another couple of years and then back in again. And, oh, God. And he's had a few chances at podiums. He's never been on the podium, Hulkenberg. He's had a few chances, and it's always gone wrong for him in one way or another. I remember him leading the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2012. I actually remember Martin Brundle going, Hulkenberg takes the lead. I remember being like, what is this? You know, he's led races, but he's never quite got it. Been at the right place at the right time and never quite hooked it together. So yeah, Nico Hulkenberg it's a weird career, isn't it? It's a weird career of like solid driver, but never quite reached the upper echelons of spraying the champagne, you know? Yeah, that is the career right there. Exactly what I said, yeah. 2010 debut, 11 out, 12, 19 in, then a couple of years out again. You know what I mean? But, yeah, we have got Q2 back underway then. So Nico Hulkenberg chat is officially done for today. Listen, I can bridge any red flag me with waffling about F1. Oh, sit here till tomorrow morning. But yeah, Nico Hulkenberg chat is shelved as we're back underway for Q2 then. 10.5 minutes to go. Hulkenberg's car's out of the way and we are back up and running. Ollie Behrman's out there in the Ferrari. Is a sentence I didn't think I'd be saying today. But with Carlos Sainz out due to appendicitis, if you are unaware of the situation and thinking who the hell is BEA or Behrman on the timing boards, yeah, Carlos Sainz out with appendicitis, and Ollie Behrman, who's the 18-year-old British driver currently racing for Prema in F2, is a reserve driver and he's been chucked in at the deep end. Boom, let's go Ollie Behrman. Saw videos of a drunk Jamie Clarkson. I know. I saw that car was embarrassing. He actually missed Verstappen going past. That was, mate. I was like, it's like trying to drag your drunk granddad away from the girls at a party. Like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? It was like one of them. He's there trying to wave the flag, and they're like, wave the flag, and they're literally telling Clarkson like, wave the flag, and he's like, what? And then Verstappen comes up, Verstappen going, like, oh yeah, the flag. You think, get out of it, drunk granddad, mate. No, ridiculous that was. I to be honest with you, celebrities waving the checkered flag in general is an absolute shambles. Always has been, always will be. Celebrities waving the checkered flag, mate. I'm not a fan. It is, Brownie. It is. That's what it's like. Jeremy Clarkson waving the checkered flag after about 17 beers. Like, what am I looking for? Now? Oh, now? Fucking forget it. Forget it. Anyway, back to qualifying. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. Germany 2019, exactly. He's always let it slip one way or another. But Ollie Behrman making a mistake into turn one. We've got 8 minutes to go in Q2. It's Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, top five. Magnussen top five as well at the moment. Perez is on a quick lap then in the Red Bull. Personal best, sector one. They got one job, wave the flag, exactly. But it always messes it up when they get celebrities to do it. There was some celebrity a couple of years ago that waved the checkered flag a lap too early. And because of that, in the official rules, when the checkered flag waves, that is it, it's over. So they actually had to end the race. Oh, you know what I mean? It's a shambles. It's like getting a celebrity to be a ref for a day in football. Like, they're just going to blow the whistle at random times. What are you doing? Anyway, Perez goes quickest with a purple final sector, a 28.5. Puts him 69 thousandths of a second quicker than Russell. And Alonso's purple sector 1 and 2. I tell you what, Aston Martin are in this fight. Aston Martin are here, mate. Alonso's on fire. Oh my God, right. Verstappen's gone quickest by half a second. And Alonso slots in a 10th off. Oh, half a tenth. Half a tenth. Oh, Aston are in the game here. Aston have arrived. Player 2 has entered the game. Mate, Aston are here. Oh, mate. Oh, both Alonso and Stroll could both be in the top 5 on the grid here, if it all goes well. Here comes Charles Leclerc then, but he's had a mediocre middle sector as the Ferrari drive, but it's Leclerc to the line and goes P3 then, so it's Verstappen, Alonso, Leclerc, Perez, Stroll, Russell, Norris, Tsunoda and Hamilton, and Piastri P10 with 6 minutes to go in Q2. And Hülkenberg watches on from the sidelines. Unfortunate for the German as he looks on at all his competitors out-qualifying him. GG's. So yeah, Piastri P10. So we start to look at the bottom 5 then with 5.5 minutes to go. It's Magnussen 11th. Ricciardo 12th, Albon 13th, Ollie Behrman on an outlap in P14, and Hülkenberg obviously will start this race from P15 after conking out at the beginning of the session and bringing a red flag. So Hülkenberg will line up 15th. So it's really only 4 drivers that are going to be knocked out here in this second session. On times anyway. Hülkenberg's out on his own accord. So Piastri starting a quick lap in the McLaren then. But I tell you what, Aston Martin are in the game here. SHT, this could be a good day for you, mate. They're in it. They're in with an outside shout here at pole. Piastri through the first sector. I tell you what, the first sector at this track is awesome. You know, say what you want about these Middle Eastern tracks that are a bit lackluster. Qatar and Abu Dhabi's not great, is it? And but this first sector at Saudi Arabia is a hell of a first sector. So it's a personal best for Oscar Piastri in sector 1. And you can hear the bottom of the car scraping along the tarmac as he gets into the middle sector now. As he gets into the final sector, a 10th down on Max Verstappen's pace. Yeah, quality pace are good, but race pace still unsure exactly. But if you put yourself at the front, that's the best you can do. Is you know, we get to the race tomorrow, but if you can put yourself on the front row, you stand a good chance of getting a decent amount of points. So it's his Piastri to the line then, goes P4, okay. Yeah, a bit of a disappointing final sector for Piastri, but 4 tenths off the pace in P4. It's about where I expected McLaren to be honest, just behind that Red Bull and Ferrari. We'll see where Mercedes slot into all this. Russell's the best of it at the minute, half a second off. With Hamilton down in P10 at the moment on 28.6. Ollie Behrman needs a lap down in P14 with 3 minutes to go. He's under pressure now to get it across the line. And Norris out of the final corner then. What can Norris do in the McLaren? It was a good first sector, but not great in the middle sector for Lando Norris. Crosses the line, P4, beats his teammate, but replaces him in that P4 position. 4 tenths, yeah, 4 thousandths between the two teammates and 4 tenths off the pace. Oh, Behrman crosses the line, 11th. Oh, he's going to have to cool those tyres down and go again, but he's running out of time. Ollie Behrman might be knocked out here in Q2. Oh, the thing is, let's have a look at the mistake. Oh, so he's understeer and has to get out the throttle slightly. Yeah, Ollie Behrman with that understeer. Oof. You're not surprised. Oh, he clipped the wall. Ollie Behrman clipped the wall on the entry there into turn 22. Oof. And his dad watches on in the Ferrari garage. Big up David Behrman. Massive day for his son. Imagine how nervous he must be watching his son drive a Ferrari. Oh, my God. He'd be having kittens. 2 minutes to go in Q2 then. Knockout zone at the moment is Behrman, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Albon, Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg's definitely out. And so it is between the rest of them. Who is the other 4 that are going to be knocked out in this session then with a minute and a half to go? Albon on a lap in the Williams. How's it been going? Any surprises? Any major surprises? Hulkenberg's broken down. Oh, Aston are rapid. If that's a surprise. Surprise to me. Aston looking like they're in the fight for pole position is probably the biggest headline at the moment. Is Alonso staying in the pits? Yeah. Yeah, Alonso staying in the pits doesn't need to go again. Up there for thinking, you know what I mean? Watch him get beat by everybody now. All 15 drivers beat him. He just sat there like, I've got to be kidding. No, but Albon crosses the line. Improves, but he'll be out with that. P12 at the moment. Well, P12 at best for Alexander Albon for this Grand Prix. Tomorrow, so yeah, Alex Albon is en route to be eliminated. Piastri beats Norris. Okay. Only 2.5 tenths off the pace. Hamilton only P8. Mercedes are in trouble here. Hamilton improves, but... oh, no. I tell you what, Mercedes in trouble. Well, Hamilton in trouble, should I say, as Russell goes P5 in the other Mercedes. Hamilton in trouble being knocked out in Q2 here. If a few of the drivers behind improve... we are watching Daniel Ricciardo on a lap into the final sector. He comes then down the long run through the sweeping bends down to the final corner. And Behrman's on the cusp, yeah. I said he should be getting through to Q3, really. That should be his target. If he gets knocked out now, 11th to 12th, bit disappointing. But Ricciardo to the line, doesn't improve. P10 at the moment. Come on, Behrman. Come on, Ollie. Come on, Ollie. To the line. Come on, Ollie. Come on, Ollie. Come on, please. Oh, he's knocked out. Oh, Behrman eliminated in the Ferrari in Q2 as Verstappen goes quickest by 89 thousandths. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. P11 for Behrman. It looks like Magnussen, Ricciardo, and Hulkenberg's out anyway. But yeah, the 5 knocked out then in Q2 as Behrman crossed the line there. And Hamilton, by the skin of his teeth, has scraped through. And Alonso is only 89. Oh, it's so close at the front. The top three are covered by less than a tenth. But knocked out then at the end of Q2 is Oliver Bearman in the Ferrari, Alexander Albon for Williams in P12, Kevin Magnussen for Haas in P13, Daniel Ricciardo for RB P14, and Nico Hulkenberg, who didn't get a lap under his belt because the car broke down on him. So they're the 5 eliminated. Bearman, Albon, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg out. So the top 10 to go into the pole position shootout then. Verstappen, Leclerc, Alonso, Piastri, Russell, Perez, Norris, Tsunoda, Stroll and Hamilton scraping through for Mercedes. Hamilton sneaks through, by 36 1,000ths of a second. And Oliver Bearman's so close. It was between Bearman and Hamilton who got knocked out then. In the end. Ollie Bearman nearly knocked Hamilton out of qualifying. That would have been the headline, wouldn't it? Nearly, though. Nearly. Not quite. Not quite. So who have we got in Q3 then? Has there got any surprises? I think Tsunoda's done well to get through to Q3. But other than that, we've got both Red Bulls, both Mercedes, both McLarens. So it's really Tsunoda who is the standout performer so far then, with it's extremely close at the top there. 79 thousandths between Verstappen and Leclerc. And 10 thousandths back from that, Alonso. Top three within a tenth. Then Piastri's 3 tenths off it. Russell 4 tenths. Perez 4 tenths. Norris 4 tenths. You see the gap between 5th, 6th, 7th is nothing. Then Tsunoda slightly ahead of Stroll in that session, and Hamilton sneaks in. I'm on R4. Yeah, so the race starts at 5 p.m. UK time tomorrow afternoon. I'll be on from 4:30. Bit of a build-up, bit of a chat. And then we get into the race. Lights out. 5 p.m. for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Saturday race. Don't forget. We're a day early. We're a day earlier. Ramadan coming in clutch. So everything's a day earlier. But yeah, please do drop a like on the stream, guys, if you are new to the channel. Or if you haven't done already, please do. It helps me out, helps get the channel noticed, gets on the, helps YouTube realise that this channel exists and starts pushing it out a little bit more on the lists. And we can start growing this channel this season properly. So be a big help if you can drop a like. Of course, if you're enjoying it as well, get yourself subscribed. I'll be live for every Grand Prix this season, including tomorrow's Saudi Arabia, as I've just said. But I'll also be here for Australia at 4 a.m. So if that's your vibe, if you're a serious fan, get involved. I'll be here every week, no matter what. Through thick and thin, mornings, afternoons, late nights. F1 is king. $4 a.m, Kim. Do you fancy it? Australian Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. 4 a.m. start. I've told Gav. Gav's going to join me for it. I dared Gav to set his alarm and get up with me and we'll watch it together. Because there's not going to be many in that stream. It might be a lonely stream, but it'll be good fun anyway. It'll be good fun. What the hell? We're just watching a replay of some of the drama there in Q2. People getting in people's way. Jeez. Wow. It's brutal. Formula One can be brutal when it's in Asia and that side of the world, Japan, China, Australia, those races are brutal if you live in Europe, because they are some 10 hours ahead of the UK, 8 hours ahead, 10 hours ahead, whatever, on that side of the world. So their Sunday afternoon is early hours Sunday morning over here. It's brutal, but you know what? I've always enjoyed it because I've always thought it's part of being an F1 fan. Setting your alarm for a practice session in the middle of the night for the Chinese Grand Prix, it's always part of the game. I love it. But I'm probably in a minority. But yeah, Ollie Behrman, I mean, fair play to him. P11, it's not bad, that. It's about where I expected him, to be honest. I thought he'd scrape Q3 and maybe get like a P9, P10, but it's about where I expected Ollie Behrman to be. It's extremely competitive in that midfield part. Well, it's extremely competitive from top to bottom, to be fair, in qualifying. So he's done a good job. He's done a good job, Ollie Behrman, there. P11 on the grid. And I reckon he'll get a couple of points from there. I stand by my P9 prediction for Ollie Behrman. I stand by it. Still think it's on. Yeah, Behrman nearly in the wall, yeah. Well, he did. He did scrape the wall, but got away with it. But yeah, P11, to be chucked in at the deep end and to be, half a second off your teammate, P11, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, that, And he did do a lap, I think, in Q1 that matched Leclerc as well. So he's got the pace. It's a solid job. Yeah, he's done well. Because he could, you could chuck him in and he could be at the back by a second and a half and be like, I'm really struggling. Like, what, we've got 1,000 horsepower here and I'm 15 seconds a lap quicker than I am in F2. This is too much. And it could be 2 seconds off the back of the pack. But he's right there in the mix, straight away. So I can't knock him. He's done well. And you never know, for the race tomorrow, he might pick off a few of those ahead of him. But we are now into Q3, 12-minute session. The fight for pole position is on in Saudi Arabia. Who's going to take it? Is it going to be the inevitable? Or are we going to get an Alonso? Or a Leclerc? Or a Lance Stroll? If Lance Stroll slaps it on pole, it's the best qualifying session of this era. We'll see. I think he's got half a chance. Similar to Stroll time and Aston is beast. Yeah. I think Aston have really got a shot of pole position here. I think if Alonso gets it together and puts together a perfect lap and Verstappen locks a brake and Leclerc runs a bit wide, then it's on. No, it's on, man. It's on. Alonso's looking rapid. Top 3 within a 10th. Nah. Right, let's go. Oh, Hamilton on a lap then. I'd love to watch the cars through Sector 1. I'd love to be there in Sector 1. They come sweeping past. Such a great sector of racing, that. But yeah, Hamilton quick in Sector 1 then, early doors. But Russell a little bit faster, as tended to be the way in 2024. Russell gathering it together a little bit quicker than Hamilton. Piastri purple Sector 1 then. So Piastri quicker than the Mercs through the first sector. And we're into the proper pole position fight now. This is what it's all about. Oh, look at how many attempts Lewis is having to take into the final corner. The understeer. 3, 4, 5 attempts to turn the car into the final corner. And the lap time from Hamilton is beaten by half a second then. Russell on a 28.3 is the early benchmark. Piastri splits the Mercedes then. Oh, it's close. And Norris puts his McLaren in between the Mercs as well then. So it's Mercedes 1-4, McLaren 2-3 at the moment, early doors in this pole position shootout. But Alonso's purple middle sector. Oh, mate, that Verstappen coming in now. Verstappen's turning up the wick with 8 minutes to go. And Perez crosses the line then with a 1:27.807 is now the benchmark. A half a second quicker than Russell, Piastri, and 8/10 quicker than Norris. Alonso crosses the line then, a 27.9 by a tenth. Very close. Here comes Verstappen then to the line, and it's a 1:27.472 by 3.5 tenths over his teammate. Alonso's looking good for a P3 here, but any higher than that might be dreamland actually looking at this. Red Bull have turned up the wick, taken out the fuel, and here we go for the inevitable. Come on, Ferrari, what can you do? Come on, Leclerc, what can you do here? Come on, Charles. Come on, please challenge it. Please split the Red Bulls here. Oh, look at this snap and oversteer on the last corner. That's not going to help you out. To the line then, Charles Leclerc, P4. P4 for Leclerc. 8/10 off the pace. Aston quicker than Ferrari. Aston quicker than Ferrari, McLaren and Mercedes here in quali. But why is there 7/10, 8/10 between Alonso and Stroll? Come on, Stroll. Come on, Stroll, man. This is embarrassing. You can't be 8/10 slower than your teammate. This is the time to strike. The car's looking good. On this particular night, in this qualifying session, you're in a chance with pole and you're 1.3 off it. Come on, Lance. Show a glimmer. Show a glimmer. It's time. Worst driver, probably. Probably, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what Logan Sargent would do against Alonso. Get absolutely slapped. So, you know what I mean? But it's not good, though. Oh, Leclerc complaining, saying it feels weird on new tyres, feels difficult to drive. Doesn't sound like a man that's going to get pole position in the next 5 minutes, does it, that team radio from Charles Leclerc? He's looking a bit on the back foot now. That's not a team radio message you hear from someone who takes pole position, is it? Leclerc struggling. That lap from Verstappen of a 1:27.472 might be good enough. That might be good enough, mate. Verstappen could just stay in the garage. Is Perez going to find 3.5 tenths? I hope so. Is Alonso going to find half a second? I mean, let's face it, probably not. That lap from Verstappen's mighty. Absolutely mighty. The gap was less than a tenth in Q2. He's now just whammed them all by 3.5, half a second. So we'll see. 4:30 Anto tomorrow. Race starts at 5. I'll be live 4:30. Bit of a build-up. Norris going to pull a beast lap. Why, Norris? Well, out of nowhere. Right, here we go then. Final knock-ins. Last chance saloon. 3 minutes to go in Q3. Look at that. Max Verstappen, the best driver in the best car on a brand new set of shiny soft tyres. Who's going to beat that? Who's going to beat Max Verstappen in the fastest car in the world with a brand new set of sticky soft tyres on it? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say nobody. You know what I mean? It's just one of them scenarios. It's a pretty long shot. But you never know. You never know, and that's why we do it. Come on, someone's got to pull a rabbit out of the hat here now to beat Max. Literally. So Hamilton's going to be the first one to start the final flying lap of the session then. So Hamilton is on his way round turn 1, turn 2, close to the wall in turn 3. Come on then, Lewis. Throw a rabbit. Come on. Pull a rabbit out of the hat here, lad. You need to. Because it's been disappointing. A disappointing start to the season from Lewis. And he needs to... Oh, it's way off. 6/10 off in Sector 1. Oh, but Russell's made a mistake. I think Russell won't improve. Point blank. Russell's done. Oh, Mercedes are not looking good here. I think we're going to end up with neither Mercedes in the top 7 or 8 here. Honestly, it's not looking good for Mercedes. This, I was thinking they're going to bounce back this season. They're going to be second. They're going to be fighting for wins. Nah. And with Russell dropping the ball in this final Q3 lap as well, nah. Mercedes, look at Alonso's got the slipstream. Oh, this could be. Oh, mate, Alonso's got the slipstream. Mate, Alonso. If Alonso goes purple, Sector 1, it's full hype. I don't even care. If Alonso goes purple, Fernando Alonso with the slipstream, you sly donkey. Oi. Oh, if Alonso goes purple, Sector 1, mate, it's on. It's on. Come on, Fernando. Come on, Fernando. He's got half a second now. I'll tell you what, he'd gain a couple of attempts. So Piastri crosses the line. P4 at best. Okay, so Piastri's beaten Norris. All right, so where's Alonso's time? Why is he not on the screen, man? Get Alonso's time on the screen. I want to see that purple. Sector 1, mate. Come on. So Tsunoda across the line. But do we care about that so much? Well, P9. Perez. Can Perez challenge Verstappen? Probably not. Doesn't. Perez second at best then. So Leclerc's going to be next one across the line. Oh, Alonso's only a 10th off the pace through the first 2 sectors. It's all about Leclerc and Alonso, this. What can Leclerc do? He's P6 at the moment. Bang, P2. Split the Red Bulls. Have that in your soup. Come on. Come on, Fernando. I think Fernando can do this. Come on. Come on. Go on, Fernando. I dare you. Go on, Fernando. Oh, he doesn't improve. What's he done? What was the final sector telling you? Oh, what is that final sector? Oh, fuck. Oh, Alonso let it slip there. Alonso, a 10th off it through the first 2 sectors. He let it slip there big time. He should have been front row. He should have been front row, Alonso. It should be Verstappen, Alonso, Leclerc in that order. It should have been. I don't know what he's done there, Alonso. Maybe took too much out of the tyres in the first sector or whatever, but I was hoping, praying for that. But it is, in the end, the inevitable by 0.3 of a second. Then it's Leclerc. Leclerc splits the Red Bulls is the big one. You know, I'm hoping, I'll be praying again for the Leclerc dive bomb into turn 1 tomorrow. That's where it's at. That's the vibe. That's the mood tomorrow. Leclerc dive bomb or quits. So that's been qualifying. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do drop a like on the stream. Oh, the Alonso anticlimax is brutal because I was really... When he got that cheeky slipstream as well down to turn 1, I was like, yeah, this is on. In the end, it wasn't. But it's fun anyway, nonetheless, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. I got to pick up the pieces now and say, P4's still good. P4's still good. But I was... That pole position was on then for a split second. But anyway, it is inevitably Max Verstappen on pole position for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix from Leclerc, Perez, Alonso. Then the 2 McLarens, 5th and 6th. Then the 2 Mercs, 7th and 8th. Russell ahead of Hamilton again. And then Tsunoda ahead of Stroll. So work that one out. Lance Stroll, what are you doing, mate? Should be, if Alonso's like fighting for pole, Stroll should be up there in top 6. But anyway, he's not. Stroll P10. Behrman done a solid job for Ferrari in P11. So being chucked in at the deep end, you can't expect him to go and slap it on pole. But yeah, decent job for Ollie Behrman, the 18-year-old Brit. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone in the stream. 3 streams today. If you've been in all 3 of them, absolute legend. I might be the only one that's been in all 3 of them, but yeah, absolute legend. So we've done practice, we've done the F2 race, which was good fun, and that is the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Verstappen from Leclerc, Perez, Alonso, Piastri, Norris, Russell, Hamilton, Tsunoda, and Stroll is the top 10 for the race. I'll be live 4:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Lights out and away we go at 5 p.m. for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Thank you everyone that was in chat. Thank you everyone that was been here throughout the day. Kim, SHT, Gav, Dan, thanks for coming in, and so and everybody else that popped in. I know a few people just pop in and say hello. Big ups to everybody who liked the stream, and get yourself subscribed. 4:30 tomorrow for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It is inevitably Verstappen on pole. See you tomorrow.